Is Jessica, and today we are going to make a natural alcohol-free perfume oil with an easy recipe. We're going to keep it simple by using a pre-made luxury fragrance oil. We will dive more into an in-depth formula for blending your own signature scents in a more advanced tutorial. But let's start with the basics of a natural oil formula as a basis for our next lesson on blending oils. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and notification bell for part 2 of this tutorial. For ingredients, you will need organic clear jojoba oil as the carrier oil for your fragrance. Jojoba oil is my preferred base because it doesn't have a strong scent and it is packed with a natural source of vitamin E. Jojoba oil also mimics the natural sebum of the skin, making it luscious, nourishing, and easily absorbed. You can also substitute this carrier for grapeseed oil, almond oil, or fractionated coconut oil. Vitamin E is important because it works as an antioxidant for your oils, especially if you plan on using essential oils as your fragrance. This will help keep the perfume oil's shelf life and to prevent oxidization. I will be adding dried flowers to my bottle today, in addition to genuine 24-karat gold flakes. You can also add small crystals if you want to. This is just an aesthetic choice though, so you can skip this step. For equipment, you will need a precision scale. You will also need the following tools. First, you will need pipettes, in addition to glass beakers for mixing. Do not use plastic, styrofoam, or paper. You will need your carrier oil of choice. I am using jojoba oil. Your fragrance of choice, and something to stir with. And if you are using flowers or gold, you will also need long metal tweezers. In addition, if you are using dried flowers, you will need a broad spectrum preservative. I am using one of my favorite oils, which is pink peony and nectarine. Make sure your oil is skin safe and you are using the appropriate IFRA regulated amount. The website you purchased your oil from should have a guide on how much is safe for the skin in the product description, but you can also find this information under the IFRA safety data sheet for your oil. If you are using essential oil instead of fragrance oils, you will need to visit eocalc.com to calculate what usage rate is safe for perfume oils. For example, if I wanted to use lavender essential oil, I would choose lavender in the drop-down menu and I would put 100% of my formula as lavender, which means it's the only fragrance I am using today. Scroll down on how many ounces of product you are making. For example, 2 ounces of perfume. In the drop-down menu, select oil-based perfume and generate your results. It will indicate that your background is green and you are safe to use that essential oil on your skin with a carrier oil. It will also tell you how much oil to use for every essential oil you input, as well as the strength. If the background shows up red, the IFRA considers it unsafe for this type of application and you will need to adjust your formula. Here's an example of cinnamon leaf essential oil, a known irritant to skin. It shows up as red when I input it into the EO calculator for perfume oil, which means it is not safe for use. Now that safety is out of the way, let's talk about the formula. These bottles fit 1.90 ounces, so I will be basing my formula off of that number today. A simple formula is to use 15% fragrance, 85% carrier oil, 1% vitamin E, and 1% preservative. You can go up to 30% fragrance oil if you want to, but the fragrance oil may separate from the jojoba. I found the best percentage to stop the oils from separating was 15% fragrance load. I do not recommend an emulsifier like polysorbate 20 or 80 because it will cloud up the perfume. Remember, we are basing our numbers off of 1.90 ounces as our total product weight, so let's go ahead and make our measurements. Let's start with the jojoba oil first. 85% of our total product is 1.615 ounces. Place a beaker on your precision scale and press tare to zero out the weight of the glass. If you pour too much, remove the excess with a pipette. Next, our fragrance oil percent is 15%. 15% of our total product is 0.285 fragrance oil. If you are using essential oils, measure it the same way. I do want to point out that if you are a candle maker watching this video, and you are used to a different kind of math when measuring oils, that does not apply to perfumery. I am measuring 15% of the total product, not 15% of the carrier oil. When using a preservative, you will need to follow your manufacturer's recommended usage. Usually it is 1% of the total product, but double check yours. We will be using 1% vitamin E oil today as an antioxidant and as an added benefit for the skin. Lastly, we need to measure our vitamin E in preservative. 1% of our total product would be 0.019 ounces. I will be adding 0.020 ounces of each in order to account for the weight of the dried flowers. Now I'm going to add the dried flowers. There's no graceful way to do this, so I'm just going to use my tweezers to push them in. Mix all the ingredients together, starting with the fragrance and carrier oil. Stir well. Next, add your preservative and vitamin E oil. Stir until it is all blended. Lastly, pour the mixture into your container. At this point, if you want to add any extras such as genuine gold or silver, you can go ahead and do that now. Just make sure not to use anything synthetic. The easiest way to add this is by taking a small amount with your tweezers and mixing it into the bottle. The oil will grab the gold and disperse it. Be careful when using gold flakes because they are very sticky and will cling to anything they touch, including skin. This is what it looks like once the mixture has settled. I love how the gold flakes float in the center and the different flowers mingling separately. Now it's time to put your roller cap on your bottle. I prefer to use an arbor press to secure my bottle, but you can just use your hands. Spray your bottle down with alcohol to disinfect it and to remove any oil residue before putting on your label. Let your perfume oil sit for 2 to 4 weeks for the fragrance and carrier oil to bind together. Your fragrance will change over time and the complexity of the notes will shine through the longer the perfume sits, up to 4 weeks. Perfume oils will have a more subtle and intimate scent that will last on the skin for hours. You can apply it generously as needed. To apply it, simply roll it onto your pulse points and gently pat it in. It will dry within a few minutes. It is common for perfume oils to give your skin a soft and luscious dewy glow. Keep in mind, this type of perfume performs best in a roller bottle and not a spray bottle due to the oily texture. That's it! You now have the base knowledge for our next lesson, which will be how to make your own custom perfume blends using both essential